everything succulent, from water, light, care, potting, and everything in between. So one misconception that people tend to have about succulents is that they can tolerate a low light. That is false. They need a very, very bright light. I like to think that they grow naturally in like a desert where they get so much sun and very, very little water, and we want to try to replicate that as best as we can in our homes. So the best place for these guys, south-facing window, right in that window, or west-facing where they're going to get that hot afternoon sun. That's where they're gonna thrive the best for you. If you notice that they're starting to grow really, really tall, that just means that they're looking for more light. So that's your cue. Let's put them into that south-facing window, get them some more light, and they'll start to fill out a little bit more. So for watering, I find that they do best with a thorough water and then letting them dry out completely. So if you have a smaller succulent, I would check it about once a week for water. You're not necessarily gonna be watering once a week. And then up from there, they're gonna retain more moisture the bigger that they are. They actually hold their water in their leaves. So when they're nice and firm, that means that they have a lot of water already in their system. They're fine. They're using that water to grow and to breathe. When they feel wrinkly, that's when they've lost that water storage inside their leaves. That just means that it's time to give them a nice thorough water. If you have a pot with like a drainage hole at the bottom, or you still have them in these nursery pots here, I love to bottom soak my succulents. So putting like a dish with water in it and you set it right in there, the succulent's gonna take up as much moisture as it needs, and then that water source goes right to those roots. Instead of watering that dry soil, it might run down the side of your pot and then actually just go right out and not actually into the soil where it needs it. So for repotting your succulent babies, they like to be in a pretty cozy space. So keeping them around the same size pot that their nursery pot is in, unless they start to fill out that pot and create pups everywhere, then I would size up. But in general, they like to be pretty tight with their root systems. You can also add in succulents and plant them together. They're not really gonna compete with each other just because their root systems stay so tight. So feel free to mix and match those succulents, put them in a succulent garden and jazz it up a little bit. So the last thing we're gonna talk about is your soil and your succulent food that you're gonna use. So our soil has more perlite in it. It's this cactus mix. That just means that it's gonna allow your soil to retain enough water, but also drain and dry out faster than a regular like tropical or a flowering soil would do. So cactus soil for those succulents is perfect. So for fertilizer, you're gonna use the cactus fertilizer. It has all the nutrients that it needs in the right ratios for your succulent to grow and thrive. You're gonna wanna water your succulents with this fertilizer food about once a month during the growing season, just because you aren't going to be watering so often. Hitting them about once a month through March all the way to September, the growing months there with the longer days, that's how you're going to want to fertilize your succulents. So we just got a massive shipment of succulents in all sizes as well as cacti here in our greenhouse. So if you need to fill that sunny south-facing window where tropicals tend to get a little bit scorched, succulents is the way to go. So come on down, mask up, we'll be happy to help you.